Penny.
Hey there.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Do I have to look away from the mirror? Because I got 20 minutes to get ready.
No, you don't have to look away.
Okay then.
So Penny Weiss, that's like the clown, right?
No. No, but I do get that a lot. And it's probably because Penny Weiss, the clown, and Penny Weiss, I think we both have that phrase, penny wise pound poor, or penny wise pound foolish in common. But no, it's not like the clown, it's also not like the band, and it's not Penny Wise, as in like intelligent, it's Weiss, like Janet Weiss from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, okay.
Kind of a nod to that innocent but naughty character.
And how does your stage persona different from your Muggle persona?
Probably the weirdest thing is I'm very, very naked on stage as my performer self, but I'm kind of a never nude otherwise. If I'm not like in the shower or like, you know, bumping uglies, I'm probably totally clothed. And like even when I'm rehearsing, I tend to keep like workout clothes on. If I'm doing just gloves, totally dressed except my gloves, things like that.
Okay. Well, what does burlesque mean to you?
Like if I was talking to someone who'd never heard of it, I'd probably tell them that it's a performer entering the stage wearing something and then leaving the stage wearing less. I don't know where I heard that, but I really like that definition. But then if I was actually like talking to someone about what it really means, I have to talk about how so it's communicating with an audience, that it's live performance art, that it uses things like nudity, but also comedy and storytelling and character work to communicate. And then for me, it's kind of like, I don't know, really affects a lot of my life, and it makes me, I think, a better person, and it gives me lots of places to grow. So it's something that's really important to me.
Okay. How long have you been doing burlesque?
That's kind of a hard question. I actually had to figure that out the other day by looking at Facebook. And my first photo of me performing was in September of 2015, 14. But I was a stage manager before that, and a stage hand before that, and a kitten. So it feels like forever, but I still feel like a newbie.
Okay. How long have you been with the Moxies?
Since before we were Moxies. In the before time, in the long, long ago, we were a different troupe. And when things went south, the ones who wanted to make it work, we stuck together and became the Moxies. And at that time, I was the stage manager. So it was an interesting change and a very nice beginning.
Okay. What's your favorite act that you've ever done?
I love my Count Who Counts act, where I'm the Sesame Street Count, but my music is bleeped. Every time he says the word count, it sounds like he's saying fuck. And I love it. Like I'm literally dressed like the Count. I'm wearing a felt costume.
That's frightening.
No, you know, our sound guy, light guy, he won't watch that act when I do it because it weirds him out too much.
Okay.
But I'm kind of proud of it.
Oh, well, what do you do in your leisure time?
I sleep. I sleep and I cuddle.
And what is your favorite thing about being a Moxie?
I love the kind of community that we have, that we've got this safety to explore and grow and be creative, and I don't think we'd have that if we weren't the Moxies, we weren't so close.
Okay. What made you want to start doing burlesque?
I met a woman at a photo shoot who put on these opera gloves with like fringe down the seam, and I was like, oh my god, you look like a burlesque performer. And she's like, well, that's because I am. And I totally just fangirled and followed her into her troupe as a volunteer, as a stage kitten.
Awesome.
So I kind of owe it to her.
Okay. And how did you feel the first time that you performed burlesque?
I love that this is happening when I have one eyebrow down. I felt like the first time I had sex with my husband, where it wasn't just exhilarating, it also just felt right and kind of whole and peaceful almost. And
Gross.
The first thing I thought was, when can I do that again? Which is exactly what it was like with
Gross.
Yeah, V, shut up.
It is pretty gross. Well, V, I mean, why don't you ask her a question yourself?
Choose wisely.
Who's your favorite Moxie?
V, obviously.
That is the only safe answer.
But I think the one who gives me panty trouble is Kitsune Kame. I always watch her.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's
She's a panty changer for me, big time.
All right. Well, speaking of panties, what's the strangest thing you've ever worn on stage?
Tiny whities that I stuffed with silly string because I was doing a duo as the douchebag singing jizz in my pants, and so we had to, jizz on stage, and that's how we accomplished it.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Like you do. Well, what's the funniest accident that you've ever had on stage?
Probably when I was on a stage I hadn't seen before, and I turned around this post, not knowing there's a lantern hanging from it, and I walked straight into it, caught myself in the head. But I didn't laugh until later. The audience didn't laugh, and they said the only way they knew it happened was they watched the lantern just swing after that, because I didn't let on that I hurt myself. But
okay, so now that V isn't anywhere over here, tell me what is your relationship with her outside of this, not on stage?
she's definitely my best friend. She's my second favorite human. We definitely have, on stage, some real jealousy, but I think that actually drives us to be better at what we do. But then, the first time I saw her perform, I was too proud of her to really be jealous. So she just inspires me. But we do give each other shit 'cause we're sisters. That's real.
Okay. What act are you doing tonight?
I'm doing a kind of dramatic, emotional act. It's a cover of Chris Isaak's Wicked Games. That's done by Wicked Grammar. Or not Wicked Grammar, London Grammar. And I think because it's performed by a woman, I relate to it differently. And it's a really beautiful recording. So I'm kind of nervous. I want to do it right,
Right. Okay. What inspires you as a performer?
I think what inspires me the most is other performers, other Moxies, and then other professionals, other amateurs. But for particular numbers, it can be things like what I find in a thrift store. The weirdest thing that inspires me is textures, or the way things move, like feathers or fabric. That can really influence the way I move on stage, or the kind of character that I want to be.
Okay. What's the most unique job you've ever had?
When I was a teenager, I was an assistant for a really weird interior decorator. And so I did things like pull weeds, but also do gold leaf and polish crystals and things like that. So, yeah, a weird look at the way the other side lives from the perspective of someone making it possible for them. That's weird.
Okay, what is the strangest pet you've had?
My pigeon, Cliffy Bird, or Cliff. I named him after Cliff from the show Cheers that I was watching when I rescued him. And I miss him, but he flew off to make little pigeon babies.
Aw. Well, okay, how about this one? What is a physical limitation you have with performances, and how do you alter to accommodate it?
I could talk about that a lot. So I have something called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it's a connective tissue disorder. Kind of the short way of describing it is I can fall apart really easily. I can hurt myself. So my movements are usually really slow or careful or precise, and I tend to have lots of stillness in what I do as I kind of protect my body. But that, I think, translates to some of my sexier characters as being kind of haughty and I'm going to be right here and you're going to watch me. Or it can make me be a little more gentle and dreamy as I move very sweetly. It's hard because I can't do a lot of dancing, and I think that's made me have to be stronger in storytelling and using my body in other ways.
Right. Okay. How has burlesque influenced the way you see your body?
It's made such a difference. I always had this view of my body as this thing that gets in the way of what I want to do. And so to have my body be how I get to do something I love is such a difference. It's also really empowering to decide when and how my body is going to be viewed. And you don't get that in everyday life. Everybody else decides how to view you. But as a performer, it's all what you want. And so I find it really liberating and really healing.
Yeah. So what's a weird talent you have?
I wish you'd asked me before I did my hair. I think I can do it though. You gotta try to follow along.
Ooh, we're getting
Here's
down.
my bendy elbow trick. Okay,
Oh, don't hurt yourself though.
so you gotta cross your arms and lace your fingers, and you make a hole. You gotta get your head through it. Oh, I can't do it because of my hair.
Oh
My
no!
sister can do it too, so make her do it.
I
My
will.
hair got in the way of my talent.
Bummer.
Let's see if I can do it. Hold on. All right.
Make a hole, put your head through it.
Ooh,
Do that.
that's fun. All right. If you were to change your stage name right now, what would you change it to?
Well, I wanted my stage name to be Taffeta Darling, from the silly goodbye scene from Young Frankenstein. But my producer, when I started, wouldn't let me. I think I'm pretty committed to Penny Weiss, even though
Yeah, well, it's you.
the clown thing happened. Yeah, I think I'll stay with what I have. I toyed with the idea of being Penny Weiss instead, you know, the more German pronunciation. But we'll see.
Okay, last question. Is there anything else that you would like people to know about you?
I am terrible with names and faces. A lot of that is I have social anxiety, so I don't look people in the face long enough to make the connections. So I can meet someone like 4 or 5 times and still be like, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. And it makes a really bad impression.
I must just be some random person who sat down and started recording you, huh?
No. What's funny though is I use your real name and your stage name like interchangeably.
Oh, me too. I
like,
do
in
the same thing.
Sentence, so. But yeah, don't think that I don't love you. It's just that if you wear the same shoes, I'll recognize you then. But yeah, faces are hard for me.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you, Penny. Thank you so much.
Oh, sure. Thank you. I look forward to hearing other people's answers.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is impromptu.